Okay, I gotta love when I try and prepare all this stuff. I'm just gonna wait for a couple people to get on here. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are all well today. Everyone's healthy. I just thought I would pop on today and do some really easy, relaxing floral doo-doos. Oh my goodness, doodles. I'm tired. My brain and my mouth don't work together most of the time. What I meant to say was I thought that we would do some really easy floral watercolor doodles today. Just something to kind of relax our mind, no pressure for anything to be perfect, and just have fun with it. So, just trying to pull up my live, here we go, so I can look at what you guys are saying. But I figure we'll just jump right in. Okay, I hope you guys are all doing well. All right. I'm just gonna make sure I'm in frame. That's not in frame. There we go. There. Okay, you guys can see everything? Perfect. Okay. Okay, so I thought today we would just do some really easy floral doodles. Nothing too crazy or hard, just fun. Okay, so follow along if you like. If you want to just hang out and watch, that's cool too. I have a B watercolor notebook that I got a long time ago, so I'm using B watercolor paper. Apparently something's going on with the B paper company and you can't really find this paper anymore, but I just had it on hand, so I thought we'd use this. I have my professional watercolors with me today by Winsor & Newton, and then I have my Princeton stamp brush in a size 6. So we're just gonna do some fun, easygoing spring florals. I thought I'd start with a tulip because tulips are pretty, and usually this time of year I head to the grocery store and I get myself some tulips, but sadly I'm not doing that. Okay, so I just have a light wash of pink here, and we're just gonna do kind of like a U shape, okay? And we're just gonna make it even lighter. We're just gonna just roughly create this U shape like that. We'll do another one. I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. Go this way. You can even leave a little bit of white space, like so. Let's do 3, just for fun. And like that. You can see these ones are a lot lighter than that one was. I started off kind of dark, but do it however you want. Okay, now I'm gonna jump in with some darker pink. And I'm just gonna tap the bottom of these and maybe the tips of it. And just be really loose with it. Don't worry about being perfect. Maybe I'll throw some yellow in there too. Why not, right? Just for fun. Want a bit more dark pink too. I have some magenta here. And you don't have to use these colors. You can use whatever colors you have or you like. Yeah, some darker magenta. Just making it really rough. Then I'm gonna grab some of my sap green. Hi, Mom. I see you watching. And I'm not gonna touch the bottom. I'm just gonna bring it down like that, and like that for the stems, okay? And then I might touch just a little bit. Make sure you don't have too much paint or water on your brush, or then it will kind of run right into the tulip, it would take over the whole thing. And we're just gonna do some long leaves, just heavy pressure, Drag it out. Light pressure like that. Light pressure, heavy pressure, light pressure. And this is easy. Your kids can do this too. Doesn't have to look like mine. Make it your own. Put a little bit more darker green in there. And grab a bit more pink. There. Okay. And there's some tulips. Super easy little doodles. And all of these little watercolor floral doodles would look really cute on a card, just them by themselves. And they're so easy and so fast. Okay? All right, let's do another flower. Let's do a hyacinth. Hyacinth? I think that's what it's called. I don't know how to pronounce a lot of these, but it's fine. I'm just going to take some purple here. I have some purple that's already on my palette. Can I zoom in? I can try. Oh. Okay. There. Hope that's better. Okay. My notebook is a B watercolor notebook that I just have. I know they're not really producing them anymore, or they're hard to find. Okay, so we're doing a hyacinth. So I have some dioxazine purple here. I'm going to grab a little bit of cobalt blue too. And we're just going to do really loose. It's almost like stars. So you're just going to do like these little petals like that around. Even go a little bit lighter. Little star kind of petals. And you're just doing them in little clusters. Okay, and the overall shape is going to be kind of like this cylinder almost, is the best way I can describe it. So don't put too much effort into these shapes, just make it really rough. You're just doing longer little petal strokes. Okay, and then we're going to go back in with some darker bits. So if you have like cheaper paper that dries really fast, you're going to want to go in sooner to add those dark bits so they bleed a bit more. So here, I'll show you. I'm just going to grab a bit more of that cobalt blue, bit of dioxazine purple, and then I'm just going to go in and drop some of that darker color. See, some of mine's already dried. Just so it's like there's a bit of depth in there. I'm going to go back to my lighter wash. Just keep doing these little star petal patterns like that. Too far here. Again, grab a bit more darker color. Just throw it in there like that. Then you're going to take your green. Again, not too much on your brush. You don't want it to bleed in everywhere. I'm going to do stems like this. And I'm going to try and go throughout a little bit where some of those white areas are and let it bleed into the green just a little bit, not too much. You don't want it to overwhelm. And then just do the long, again, kind of leaves like your tulips. I'm going to add a bit of lemon yellow. Okay. Okay, going back in with a bit more darker green over this lemon yellow. Just throw it in there. Parts of it already dried, that's okay. Like that. And there's that hyacinth. Hyacinth? I hope I'm saying it right. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Let's try a forsythia. Forsythia. Okay, so there are these little yellow flowers kind of connected to a branch. And again, it's kind of like those star petal shapes, almost, kind of. So they're a bit longer. I'm going to go a little bit lighter with my cadmium yellow. And I'm just going to do these longer petal shapes like so. Okay. And they'll all be connected to a branch. So if you want to do your branch first, you can. As a little guideline, I'm going to go through with my branch after. So I'm just kind of putting them all where they could probably connect. Hello to you in Italy. I hope you're doing well. Going in with a bit more darker yellow. Sorry you can't see my palette at the same time, but that's what we're doing, okay? Get a little bit fuller as we go down. And just these like really easy kind of star patterny petals, okay? Nothing crazy. Okay, like that. And then we are going to connect it to a branch. So I'm going to grab some burnt umber here that I have. Again, just a little bit because we're doing little details. You don't want it to overwhelm the flowers. So I'm going to start off with where I think the center branch will be. And I'm just going to kind of go throughout the flowers. And then start connecting maybe some of the ones that are a bit off the side. Like that. Okay. And you can always add more too if you want. Maybe I'll add more there. I'm going to add a bit more brighter yellow. Just make it really loose and easy. Okay, anybody can do this like that. Okay, and I have a little bit of that brown bleeding into some of them, which I like. So, like that. And there is your forsythia. Okay. Let's try, I literally have, I don't know if you can see this, spring flower guide on from Pinterest, just looking at different types of flowers that I could possibly do. Because I don't know. I don't have an imagination apparently. Let's try delphinium. I like delphiniums actually. They're really pretty. I think they're my birth month flower. So I'm going to do a bluish purpley one again. And they're these long stalks. Okay. And you're just going to roughly do these and maybe leave like a little something in the middle. Hold on. Let me zoom in again. Or just move it. There we go. Okay, start with lighter wash if you can. And just rough, and see I'm leaving a little bit of white space in between each center of it. Just being very rough, loose, not rough, loose. Loose is the word I'm looking for. And I'm just using a light wash of cobalt blue. Like that. Delphiniums. And then I think it's a little bit more sparse as it gets to the top. I'm going to go back in with a bit more cobalt blue into those centers. Not the centers, but around those little white centers, like that. Just adding a bit more darkness. Maybe even grabbing a bit of ultramarine blue, add a different blue in there. Or that might be Prussian blue. I don't remember which blue I have there. It's all good. And then I might grab the tiniest bit of yellow, like literally the tiniest bit, and in those little centers, and it's okay if it bleeds a bit into your blue, that's fine too. It's really loose and kind of, messy anyway, that's fine. And then you're just going to grab your green, and you're going to go throughout like that. Similar to the hyacinth, but it's a bit more longer and stockier. And then towards the top, where they get more sparse, there's like more little buds. like that. I love these flowers. These and snapdragons are very similar, I find. Like that. Okay, very, very easy. Let's do a dahlia. Dahlia? I used to think they were called delilias, but it's not. It's dahlia. Okay, let's do a peach one. So I already have a peach mix over here. I just mixed, I know you can't see it. Just a bit of permanent rose and a bit of yellow. Okay. And I'm just going to do little kind of, they're not even really strokes. I'm just laying down my brush in kind of like a star pattern. Okay, like that. Leaving white space in between. Sorry if I'm not responding to questions. I'm trying to paint and do this at the same time. Okay, so you can see there's little white spaces in between. Now I'm just going to go back in with a bit more paint. I'm going to add a bit more pink to it. And then go right into the middle and just kind of, not too much, you don't want it to bleed everywhere, just drop some color in there, like that. Okay? And then maybe we can do another one, more of a side view. So let's just get a bit more of our peach going. Okay, and I'll just do, so we're going to do like a side view, so we're just going to have it going out. I want to get my lighter wash. Like that. Again with my pink, more towards the top and maybe underneath a bit. Like that. And then stems. Okay, let's get some green here. I'm gonna let it bleed in there a bit. Like that. You gotta love, that's a car out there, by the way. That's making that loud sound. I'm trying to see if I can see what the leaves look like. I think they're closer to down here. I'm just going to do some simple leaves. Might be right, might be wrong. It's fine. Because they're just doodles, guys. They're just doodles. Just having some fun. You can always do some more if you want later, too. There we go. There are some dahlias. Okay, let's find another flower. If you guys have any suggestions as well, you know, let me know for a little idea. Let's see what you guys are talking about over here. A lot about paper. Yes, like I mentioned before, bee paper, I can't find it anywhere anymore. I kind of stocked up a little bit from Michael's, and I haven't been able to find it since. So just wanted to let you guys know. I don't know if they've gone out of business or what, but that's kind of what's happening. Let's try a stargazer lily. Okay, I've done a bigger one before, but I haven't done one in like a small scale, like just a doodle. Okay, so I'm going to start off with long kind of petals like this. Okay, I'm going to go in the middle with a little bit of yellow, like that. Then I'm going to take my permanent rose, not much water on my brush, you don't want it to overwhelm the whole thing. And I'm just going to, a little bit too much, it's okay. I'm going to just go down the center of that, like that, okay? Like that. maybe I'll do another one too, maybe like a side view. The petals are kind of pointing up. I know it's really light, it's a bit harder to see. But just, we're doing it loose little doodles, remember? Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'll just do a little bit of yellow like that. Grab my permanent rose. I'm just going to tap it on my thing a bit and just run some pink in there. Okay. And then we'll do those little dots on it after. But let's do some leaves. So I'm just going to grab some Hooker's Green. And I might let it bleed just a little. Maybe a little stem here. Just really loose. And then once that's dry, we'll do those little, like the centerpiece, and then the little dots kind of on the petals. This one's kind of not as great, but that's fine. All right, now let's try let's do our little peony friend, because those are my favorite flowers. And you could barely find them here last year. It was very upsetting. Okay, I'm gonna do a little peony here. We'll do more of an open one and more of a closed one. So let's start with the open one. We're just gonna do some kind of random strokes, nothing even too specific, leaving white in the middle here. And then we're just gonna have petals dropping. Just being very loose with it, okay? Don't think I like how big that one is, but that's okay. Then I'm gonna go back in with a bit more pigment. So I'm gonna add a bit more pink and yellow. I'm just gonna tap right at the base where those petals that are falling connect, and then right here, like that. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit of yellow and do some little center doodads in the middle, like that. And then I am going to do a smaller, more closed one over here. So let's do like a petal shape, a rounded petal shape. Do a C curve shape around that. Okay, and then some like rough little lines with the tip of your brush at the top. And then you're just going to do little curved bits around like that. Very rough. Again, grabbing a bit more pigment. That's a bit too much. And I'm just gonna tap in. I'm gonna tap a bit more on this side too. At the base where all those petals connect. Like that. Doodads, yeah, I know. Those are my technical terms. Thank you. Bit of yellow there. And then let's grab our green. And I'm gonna do some leaves. Maybe a stem here. Leaves coming around it. Just very loose, guys. Like that. Like that, little peonies. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in a bit more so you guys can see a bit better. Okay, next flower is going to be, I'm just kind of going by the seat of my pants here, guys. Let's do some hydrangeas. I feel like I want another bluish flower here. So I'm gonna take, nope, cobalt blue again. Mix it over where I have, I know you can't see what I'm mixing, but I have some cobalt blue. And I'm just gonna, you wanna think of kind of like a sphere shape for a hydrangea. And you're just gonna do little dots with light, with a light wash of the blue that you have, okay? Little dots, leaving good white space in between those little dots. Make them rough, just dragging your brush a little bit like that. And let's do another hydrangea over here. Okay, just doing little dots. And I'm just kind of like, I'm not doing like dots like this. Like you don't want dots like that. You want maybe like put an angle on your brush. I can't speak, I'm sorry. 45-degree angle, and just kind of make these little shapes just going different directions. And then before it dries, pop back in, especially, I'm going to add a bit of purple to the underside, and just add a bit of darker color, so it's like it's the shadow, okay? Like that. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our green. I'm gonna mix a bit of dioxazine purple to get a bit of an olive green with my sap green, if you can see that. So dioxazine purple and hooker's green make like a nice kind of sagey color, but sap green, because it has more yellow in it, and yellow and purple are contrasting colors, it adds a bit of brown, so you can get this nice kind of olivey color. So I'm just gonna let it bleed in there a bit, like that. And they have these big leaves, right? Lighten it up a bit. And then I can go back in with a bit more darkness right under, like that. Okay, hydrangeas. And then someone said daffodils, but I've already done a daffodil tutorial recently. So I can link that below once I'm done. I need one more flower, guys. One more flower. And if you guys end up liking this, I might do, maybe I'll do little flower doodles every week for the foreseeable future. Let me see. Let's do you know what, let's try a calla lily. I don't really like calla lily. You just said calla lily. I didn't even see that. I don't really like calla lilies. I don't find them very interesting to look at, but we're gonna give it a try. Calla lily. Just looking up a picture just for reference. Let's do a cute little pink one because I said so. Okay, so calla lilies are kind of like this bell shape almost. So actually I'm going to start off with like an S shape, and then I'm going to bring it down like this, okay, and then I'm going to go from that tip, bring it in, like that. I don't know if that makes sense, okay? And then I'm just going to fill this part in, like that to start. There's a bit of green on my brush. Oops. It's all good. Like that. And then let's do another one. Okay, so I'll try again. So I try and do these things in a way that I can explain. Actually, let's try this way. We're going to do like kind of like a long shape like that, and then we'll bring it in. Does that help? I don't know. We're going to fill it in like that. Okay. And while these are still wet, I just want to have the stem bleed just a little bit into that bottom. So I'm just going to touch the bottom just a little, have the stem come down. Like that. Then they have these kind of longer, floppier leaves. So just curve your wrist when you're doing these leaves if you want them to have a bit more movement. like that. It's like an S curve. But don't put too much pressure on yourself for it to look a certain way. It's all good. Like that. Okay. And then, let's see. There's like a little thing in the center. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of space, but I'm gonna leave a little kind of like almost upside down teardrop for that. I think it's the stamen in there. And I'm just gonna fill in the inside. Hopefully this outer part is dried a bit. I'm gonna leave a little bit of white space so it doesn't bleed into it, just in case it's still wet. Because I want this inside to be a bit darker. So I'm gonna grab more pigment and I'm gonna tap towards the bottom of the inside, that darker pigment. And I'm just gonna, like that. I don't know. It's a calla lily, right? Kind of looks like it. There you go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna let that dry, and then we'll do the little yellow in the center. But I'm just gonna head back up to this one, which was the dahlia, and see there's not much definition for some of the petals, so I'm just gonna go back in with some of that same color, and I'm just gonna do another round of petals like this, just to make it a bit sharper, like that. And because it's dry, you're getting sharper edges. Okay. That might add a bit more pigment to the center bits, like that. Okay, just a little bit. And then the stargazer lily, we're gonna add those little kind of dots. Hold on, stargazer lily. Okay, so for the center, I'm just gonna grab a bit of yellow. And I'm just going to do kind of like the stamen part. I don't know if you can actually see it. Let's do a bit of orange. It might show up a bit better, actually. And we're just going to do these little bits for where the stamen is. Okay, like that. I'm going to grab a tiny, tiny bit of green. That will connect to those little bits in the center. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit of like a darker pink, maybe even like a burgundy kind of color. And I'm just going to do tiny little dots on the leaves. This is supposed to be the center. It's all good. You can even make those leaves a bit, those leaves, oh my gosh, the petals. I just finished shooting a tutorial on leaves too, so that's why it's on my mind. Okay, and I want to make it a bit darker towards the center. So I'm just gonna darken up here and then do some little tiny like lines like that. And if you want to go back into any of these leaves and just add a bit of, texture, or maybe the veins, let's try. Just little easy things that you could do to give it a bit more detail. Totally up to you though. Like that, okay? And then I think that's it. I just want to make sure that this one is dry. I'm gonna add a bit of yellow for that center of the calla lily. I might add a bit more darkness to the inner part here. That, and then just kind of sharpen up where this kind of wraps around a bit. Like that. And then I'm going to blend that center by just washing off my brush, drying it on my paper towel, and then just blending it out. Like that. just so you don't see those like little lines too heavily. Okay, you can even blend that line out too. Okay, and there's your calla lily again. If you want to add a little bit more detail, totally can. Up to you. But there you go. So I'm just going to zoom out. Hopefully you can see them all. Hopefully it's in frame. Okay, I think we're good. There you go, some easy flower watercolor doodles that you can do. My desk is a mess. But yeah, maybe if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you give this video a like or a comment. And if it's something you want me to do with brand new flowers every week, maybe I can just do some little watercolor doodles. And we can go live and do this again. So let me just turn this camera around so I can say goodbye to you guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, I hope you guys are well and, you know, staying safe, staying inside, keeping your loved ones safe and keeping everyone else around you healthy by just staying inside and keeping busy. If you're struggling, I feel you. It's a hard time, but know that we're all in this together, and I'm thinking about you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini tutorial. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening, whatever time it is there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!